Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. It's a bit of a short update today because not too much happened. Bear in mind today we've got our member live stream at 5 p.m. UTC. Members can watch all the previous live stream tutorials and recordings. They're always up to date and always relevant because oftentimes the first 20 to 30 minutes of a live stream that we do on a weekly basis includes some kind of an educational topic. Now that could be, as we do it today, we talk about diagonals and how to trade them, Elliott Wave patterns. Yeah, we have explanations about Elliott Wave. We've got explanations about patterns, structures, risk management, things like that. If you're interested in that, check out the membership. 5 p.m. UTC, we do the live stream today. Later today, I'll do a longer video, maybe the last one that I'll do today about Bitcoin, because by then, ideally, we've had a bit of movement. At the moment, price is simply consolidating in a very tight range, and typically towards the end of the week, when the weekly candle starts to close, or at least the weekly candle gets to the end of its lifetime, we start to see more volatility. Bear in mind, early next week we have the FOMC meeting, the Fed meeting, and it's something to focus on, because this is what the market is going to focus on. I think at the moment the preference is still that we will get a 25 basis point interest rate increase, but we will not know before the meeting. I think that is pretty much priced in at this stage. No interest rate increase would probably be rather bullish for crypto, but I don't think we'll see that. I think we'll see at least one more 25 basis point increase, and probably in May, and maybe another one in June or July. We need to check when the next meeting is. I think it's June, but I might be wrong. Okay, so let's look at the current structure. We still assume that we rallied in a wave 1, that it peaked around the 14th of April. We're now coming down in this wave 2, which is a correction of the impulse. Such a correction normally takes place in 3 waves, A, B, C. The question we deal with at the moment is, okay, did we have an A wave? Yes. Is this here a B wave, and is the B wave a triangle? So is it going to play out as sketched out here? And do we break down then? Or do we get a higher B wave? Both absolutely possible. A wave down, a higher B wave, and then come down. Eventually, at the moment, in both of these, let's say, sub scenarios of the wave 2 scenario, I expect eventually a move down in a C wave. Okay, so that the overall pattern here in this wave 2 really plays out its clear 3-wave structure. A, B, C. How the B wave happens is always unclear. B waves really only have a few rules. One of them is it should be a 3-wave structure unless it's a triangle, and the other rule is you can do what you want. Just joking, but no, of course, I mean there are resistance levels for a B wave, but they are very vague, more vague than for any other pattern or wave. That's why many people stay away from B waves. It's possible to trade the range, absolutely, but just be aware that it's time to be careful with leverage, in my opinion. It's time to be careful with position size in a range like this. And if things are unclear, you can always zoom out and move around and trade in the higher time frame. That is more clear. And it's important to be aware of the key resistance levels and the key invalidation points and the key support levels. So here for this wave 2, eventually support is down at 22K. If we break 22K, new bear market lows would get very much into the focus, and I would get much more concerned about new bear market lows. Until we, however, break that, my focus would eventually be on the upside, and I would expect a 3rd wave rally to the upside. But before that happens, we are waiting for another dip in the C wave. Is a direct breakout to wave 3 possible? Yes, now of course, but I would find it less likely at this stage. Not completely unlikely, but less likely. But because the idea is that we are in an uptrend, that you can see here by this wave 1, wave 2 being a correction, and the 3rd wave sketched out on the chart, the overall idea would be to move higher, which is why I generally would be careful with short trades here. But of course, you have a reasonable setup here of this triangle to short the C wave, but I would still be careful, just highlighting that, because you would be shorting against the higher level trend. Yeah, and again, you know, this B wave can unfold as a triangle. I decided, ready for the weekend, to track this triangle in detail. And so far, there is no wave count change necessary. And so far, it was the right decision to see this as a triangle, because there was the idea of a higher B wave or a triangle. At the moment, the idea of a triangle count has proven to be correct, because we've basically just been moving sideways on the weekend. And it looks a bit like that we have a triangle within a triangle here, which doesn't make it easier, yeah, as you can see here. And Ethereum's looks very similar to this one here. And you can see that we are now heading into the apex of a possible triangle. Actually, I can make that a bit steeper up here. We're moving into the apex, and the buyers and the sellers are forced to make a decision here. Absolutely, maybe I'll take that out down here. They are forced to make a decision, and the difficult thing is with these triangles, again, I could say, okay, did we have something like that? Yeah, did we now complete the D wave? Are we now moving up in the E wave? I don't think the triangle broke already, so it's probably my first view that we are still in the triangle. This is now the E wave top, which is developing. And if this is the count, then we should anticipate a breakout of the triangle to the downside from here. But always be aware that the triangle can always shift and develop into a larger triangle. Yeah. So here it's very clear we've got two key levels here. First of all, the breakout point to the downside, at least the first indication we are moving down. Yeah, it's not confirmation, but the indication is at 20, the new one here is now at 29,100 roughly. Yeah, and the invalidation point of the triangle, which means we should get a higher B wave, if not a more bullish breakout, is the top of the A wave at 30,050. Okay, so these are the levels to watch. I don't trust this triangle yet. I think it's a bit too small. I think it will extend out, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I don't trust it yet because, you know, the problem is that we've got here is this here is a three-wave move up. This here was a three-wave move down, and the proportions don't really match. So I've got a feeling, but it's too early to confirm it. I've got a feeling that we might get a large, oh, come on, very bad with the mouse today. We get a large triangle here, something, I mean, something like that, yeah, which might actually, doesn't need to be that long, right? But I've got a feeling it will develop and extend out, but we'll see. You know, it would be super boring. Hopefully not. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.